Okay. Kiara's face disappears when she does double chin. Look, watch. Profile. Pizza. We're going to show you how to do stage makeup. This is a fairly easy but traditional classical style. I love this look because it makes the eyes look bright and open. The main thing to remember about doing your makeup is knowing your face or the face of the person's makeup that you're doing. Okay, so everyone's face has very distinct features. And you don't want to take those features away, okay? Now, you can learn how to make your nose look bigger, how to make your nose look smaller, all of that sort of stuff. But when you're performing as yourself, you want your nose. The reason we put makeup on is to enhance our features on stage and to make them stand out with the distance that stage gives us, so the audience sitting all the way out the back and under the lights, because stage lighting is really, really bright. We also have things like sequins, not sequences. No. No, Roxy Andrews.
Put on a shiny sequins gown.
Are you saying sequin or
Sequins dress.
So when you have sequins on, they're glittery, they're sparkly, the fabrics nowadays are nice and sparkly, and by comparison, your skin just dulls, okay? See that? This happens all the time where the fabrics, now this is just a hologram makeup case, and the fabric is picking up the light, which is throwing onto Kiara's face. Now this spot Kiara has is not actually that big in real life, but the lighting and the reflection from the fabric is making it look a lot bigger. So the lighting is mainly the reason why we need to wear makeup, even young kids, even boys. So this is a standard girls makeup that's going to help you to make your face be brighter and more visible on stage. So all of those wonderful facial expressions that you work on in class and that you're really giving out to the audience, we'll actually be able to see them. So we're going to be focusing today to start with on the eyes. Traditionally with makeup, you do your base first and then you do the eyes, but I want to show you the technique of starting with the eyes, because when we do eyes, we have shadows, like we use eyeshadows. And shadows will often have fallout. So it's when the eyeshadow gets a bit powdery and you get fallout onto here. That's easy to clean up if you've got nothing on your skin. If you already have foundation on, you have to then wipe the foundation off as well it's really tricky. So it's much easier to, just going to zoom in, to start with the eyes. And Kiara's freaking out by her face being so zoomed in on, but we need to see. We're going to start with the eyes. Now, when you're doing your eyes, you need to think of the shape that you're trying to create. One of my favorite makeup artists, other than my sister who's a makeup artist, is Miss Fame. Miss Fame is a model and drag queen. She is beautiful beyond belief, and her makeup style is really, really adaptable for the stage, and also she gives you a lot of tips for every day. And she works from the nose up and out, okay? So you need to think of the face from the nose, okay? So if you draw two lines, okay, from the center of the nose, pretty sure I just poked Kiara up the nose, out to the bottom of the eyebrow, and on the other side. So we've got this V shape. This is how the eyes are sitting. And we want to make sure that when we're doing our makeup, our eye makeup, that we want to lift the line this way. Some of the lines, in fact probably only one, maybe two lines, are going to go straight out. Other than that, we want everything going up, okay? So this is our V shape, up this way. The other line that you need to be aware of is the brow. Okay, so the brow should go from the side of your nose straight up. That's where the brow starts. So the brows should start here. Okay, we then go from the side of the nose and out to the center of the eyeball. So the iris, that's where your arch should be. And then from the center of the nose and out, following the bottom line of the eye, so the bottom line of lashes, that is where your eyebrow should finish. Now, Kiara's eyebrow doesn't quite finish there. Okay, it finishes in a bit further in. So we're going to draw hers out a little bit more. But other than that, her brow shape is quite good. There are heaps of YouTube tutorials out there about how to deal with brows. Heaps of really good ones. I'll put a couple of links. Now I feel like a full YouTuber. Put a couple of links. But we're going to start with the brows because they really frame the eyes. And as I say to a lot of my students, the eyes are not the windows to the soul. It's the eyebrows. Because the eyebrows show emotion. Okay, if you want to look surprised, it's not the eyes that do the work, it's the eyebrows. Because if you do surprise for us, Kiara, see the eyebrows lifting up? Yeah, you get the whites of the eyes as well because the eyes widen, but it's the brows on stage in particular that really emphasize that. So what I'm doing here is I'm using a spoolie. A spoolie is just a, basically it's like a mascara wand, okay? This is the amazing Hourglass eyebrow pencil. And it's got a lot of eyebrow pencils come with the double end nowadays, so you get pencil on one end and a spoolie or brush on the other. If you don't have a spoolie, then you can just use a clean makeup brush, something that's a bit flat and a bit pointed, got a bit of weight to it. That doesn't work as well, but it still works. Okay, and you're just brushing the brows up to start with. Up. You want all of the hairs going upwards. Sometimes the hairs might be a bit stubborn and they're going a different way. Just keep persisting. Brush, 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 brush them up. Some people do have curly eyebrows. I have curly eyebrows. It's annoying. All right, so we want to lift these brows up away from the eyelid area. Brush, brush, brush. Up, there you go. Now, I definitely do prefer using a spoolie. It does the job quicker because it actually gets in and separates the hairs. But just trying to show you, if you don't have to go out and buy heaps of different things. Okay, so we've brushed all her eyebrows up. We're not going to leave them like that. What we're now going to do is just gently run over the top. Okay, so we're gently running over the top and out. And this is then going to help to shape them without pushing them back down again. So I'm getting my brow pencil. I'm going to get in nice and close. And we're just going to mimic the hairs and draw little hairs in. The other thing you can do is if you don't have a good shape and you want to change the shape, so we're going to lift Kiara's arch of her brow up a little bit. And by that I mean we're going to pretend that the brows are there and we're going to lift them up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is get some brush, something that's, you know, kind of straight. And we're going to go to the center of her eye. Can you just open your eye 1 second? Yep, that's the center of her eye. So that's where I want her brow peak to be. Now you can go as high as you want, but I'm just dotting where I want the brow to go. And I'm going to fake that by penciling it in. And I'm starting with a really faint colour. You can probably only just see it, if anything at all. Alright. Now it is quite a harsh line there. It's quite a sharp peak. We can fix that up if you're working with pencil. If you're working with a pomade that's more of a gel consistency or like a paint consistency, then this is harder to do. So I do recommend, if you're going to be faking a shape of some sort and drawing it in, I recommend using a light pencil first so that it's easier to erase any mistakes. You can also cover brows, but I'm not going to show you how to do that, because if you want to learn how to cover your brows, so if you've got a lot of brow down here and you've got a young child who you don't want to get their brows waxed or tweezed or anything, or if you're just yourself and you don't want to get them tweezed, that's cool. Drag queens would show you how to do it better than I ever can. So just look up blocking out brows. I'll post a few below, because the queens know how to do it. They do it on a regular basis, and then they redraw their brows like up here. We don't need to do that. So I'm going to go to the center again, line this up with the bottom lash line and out, and then I'm just going to continue out until I reach that point. Often in a traditional classical makeup look, we take this finishing brow line, we take it out further. But Kiara's got quite a nice natural brow line anyway, and she's got quite a bit of space in here anyway, so we don't really need to do that for her. You can go a little bit heavier on the outline of the brows for stage. So what a lot of people do on like Instagram, that sort of thing, where the brows are really, really prominent, it might look a bit odd and heavy for every day, but it does actually work on stage. You don't have to go for the natural look on stage. Okay, so we've given her quite a heavy, strong brow there, and yes, for every day you'd be like, dude, calm down. But for stage, this works. This is what we want.
Calm down, Beyonce.
Calm down, Beyonce. Yes. Now, what I would actually prefer to do with Kiara's brow here, and this is simply because, oh, I'm putting that on the wrong end. This is simply because I know Kiara's brow and I know her face quite well. I've done her makeup and I've helped her do her own makeup quite a few times. I'm going to get some concealer and a brush. Now, you could do this with your finger, but I don't recommend it. I'm a big believer that you can use your fingers for lots on your makeup, but not necessarily this part. I'm using the NYX. Now, NYX is a very common brand you'll see me using, common for me anyway. So this is the NYX Full Coverage Concealer. It says it's lightweight, but it's actually got a really nice paint consistency to it. This is the colour Porcelain. Yeah, I just really like this. What I'm going to do is use this incredible brush from Morphe. Now, I've already put paint on it. In Australia, we can only really get Morphe online. This is the E40 brush from Morphe. Is it the E40 or E48? Nope, E48. What we're going to do is we're going to paint over the brows that we don't want to see. Okay, so I want to take this higher. Now, you can do this, in fact, you probably should do this before you start filling in the brows. But this is just if you do your brow shape like I just did and then go, you know what? No, I actually do want to cover them. All right. Now, when you watch the tutorials that I've posted, just close your eyes for me, hon. When you watch tutorials of people fully blocking out their brows, they will do this step about 5 times. They'll probably use a glue stick or soap. I actually prefer, if I'm going to fully block brows out, I actually prefer using soap. Not on my skin because I'm allergic to soap. But soap is just, it gives it this such beautifully clean, literally. Sorry, bad joke. Beautifully clean, slick look. Glue sticks work just as well. Okay, so what you can see here now is we've taken Kiara's brow up and up. Okay, and if you look at the other side, that's her natural brow. This is her new brow. What do you think? It's quite dramatic. We're doing this for stage.
Yep.
But it is a technique you can use for everyday life as well. It doesn't matter if you can still see the hairs a little bit because we'll get rid of them later. Now I'm going to go in with another brand that I use a lot. I'm actually going to use the same brush. So this is from Essence. Essence, a De Balm. De Balm. Do I get away with that? No, I don't, do I? No. Essence is great. So this is all about matte fixing a compact powder. It's white, but it goes on clear. It is like a compact. It's a flat powder, a pressed powder. I'm just going to pick up some of that on my brush, same brush I was just using, and I'm just going to put that over the top. So anytime you use a cream or liquid product on the skin, you want to go back in over it with a powder because that will set it. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a little set. Now you'll probably be able to see there that that's actually a lighter colour than her eye. We want that at the moment. We want that because we're going to be putting other colour on top of it. If you were just doing this in your everyday life and you didn't want to put any other foundation on, then you would want to try and blend that colour to match your skin, but we don't need to do that. Okay, so I'm going to use that brush again later. So this is probably a good time to show you about cleaning it. You don't need one brush for every product or one brush for every colour shadow like my mum used to have because she just loved it. I'm using the cheap, I think they're like the Coles brand or something, makeup wipes. I don't use them for the skin. They're very drying on the skin because they've got lots of nasties in them, even the ones that say they're natural. But all I'm doing is brushing onto here. You can be quite rough with them, with your brushes. Not too rough, but you can be quite rough. If you are doing this with a little bit of force and your brush falls apart, the brush is crap. Okay? And if it's going to fall apart in your hand while you're cleaning it, it's going to fall apart on your face. Okay? So if it's leaving bristles behind when you're cleaning it on a baby wipe or a face wipe like this, then it's going to leave them on your face as well. Get rid of the brush. You can also use, this is really good for cleanups, and this is absolutely essential for taking your makeup off as far as I'm concerned, micellar water. Not my salad water, as as my son used to call it. And if you're going to use micellar water, then just grab one of these round makeup pads, put some micellar water on it and do the same thing. Just brush the brush over it a couple of times and that will clean it up for you. But using the makeup wipe, it also means if you use that in between, you can use it in between clients or in between different dancers. So it means that you can use the same brushes on different people. Now, still talking about brushes, Morphe, the one where this one came from, their brushes really are incredible. Really, really good. Lots of makeup artists, professional makeup artists, YouTubers use them. There's a lot of things that people talk about on YouTube and Instagram that are great products that I think, man, not really. But that's one that I do believe is great. A lot of YouTubers have discount codes for them. Patrick Starrr is one of my favorites. He has, I think, a 15% discount code. And yeah, so you can jump on. They do get money from that, a kickback, but that's their job, is to promote them. So, you know, why not get money from it? Yeah, so I recommend getting on board with those.